Hey guys, Mauro here. Do you remember, think about any match that you played that you won 7-6 in the last set, or even if you lost it. And if you think about it, sometimes it all comes down to a couple of points. It could be a 7-5 or it could be a 9-7 or something like that. This is a video that I wanted to record. I wanted to mention something that I didn't due to the length of the video that I did about how to be a better player. This is something that I couldn't mention on that is extremely important for those of you that play. This is pretty much for every match, but this it's something that it can help you a lot when you play those better players. The guys that we think are better players than us. It's the concept of staying close. Staying close meaning you want to keep fighting in the match and try just to stay as close as possible in the score to the other guy instead of focusing on the result. Trying to stay more focused on, okay, I want to try to not get my serve broken and try to go. If he wins his set, you win. I mean, he wins his serve, you win your serve, and he wins his serve, you win your serve, and just trying to keep the score really really tight, because you never know when you're gonna have that opportunity. And believe me, it doesn't matter if the guy that you're playing is a really good player. Sometimes even the best players they crack down under pressure. I was watching last night a match of Coric and Jack Sock. And Coric had set point in the first set and ended up losing it. He had set point in the second set. I'm sorry, and they ended up going to tie break. If you had the chance to go back and watch, guys, the tie break starting, you start from 4-all on the tie break, and from 4-all, Jack Sock, he made the he made three mistakes that were pretty much average mistakes. The truth is that Coric didn't do much at the end of that tiebreak to win that set. He just was hanging in there. He was hanging in there, tooth and nail, just the same way he did it with Federer. So the guy, what he focused is like, okay, he had, I think, two set points on the first set. Coric lost it, and he didn't stay dwelling on that. He just moved on. The second one had tie breaks again, had set points, didn't win, moved to tie break, and by then he said, usually a lot of players think, okay, I already had a set point on the first set and I had a set point on the second set. I could have finished this match, and now I'm finding myself on tie break on the second set, and I already lost the first one. So all the credit to Coric for still staying in the fight when they were 4-all on the tie break. Sock lost 3 points in a row, very average points. They move on to the third set, and you can tell at the beginning of the third set that Jack Sock was totally down on himself. You could tell that his body language was telling you everything. He just was not happy with the fact that he had lost that second set, feeling that he had a pretty good chance at closing the match and just letting it go. So he broke the racket when he lost the tie break, so he had a penalty and started the third set at love 15. That game was horrible for him. Love 15, and he lost that game. He didn't win one single point. You could tell mentally the guy was, I mean, in a place that we all have found ourselves in a match. But that's why it's so important to learn to recover. Tennis is a sport where we don't have the luxury of time. We have to learn to recover in a matter of seconds, because the next point is coming. And if you lose your head for 2 minutes, 2 minutes can mean 2 or 3 games down. You can get your serve broken, the other guy wins his game, and then you get your serve broken again. And in a matter of minutes, the match is go. I mean, you're already way down on the score. So you gotta learn that. Well, at 2-0, Coric was 2-0 on that third set, and he played a very lame game. I mean, if you guys have the chance, like I say, you have the chance to go back to see from the tie break and the rest of the match, or at least from the tie break to the first 4 or 5 games of the third set, you're gonna notice how the mentality of one player and the other, it's I mean, not as much of courage. He was always fighting, but when he was 2-0 on the third set, you would think, okay, and you can tell Jack Sock was completely out of that match mentally. He said, well, he's just gonna finish it here. And at 2-1, he played a horrible game. Got his serve broken, and Jack Sock ended up tying at 2. Came back, and you will think that Jack Sock, okay, well, after everything, you still find your chance. You know, you have your chance to still fight for the last set. Finding yourself 2-0 down and coming back, whoa, he's gonna be on fire. And the truth is that it was not like that. Coric moved up to 5-3, and then they had to stop because of the rain. Another chance for Jack Sock to fight back and say, okay, you know what? I'm coming back, and we're taking a break because of the rain. This is time to regroup my head. And he didn't. They came back and ended up. Coric ended up winning that last game. I think he actually broke Jack Sock's serve to win the set 6-3. But this is a really good example, guys, of how important it is to stay close in the match, because you never know when you're gonna get those chances. Coric, I'm sure he never thought that on that second set, being for all of a sudden Jack Sock was gonna miss those 3 points out of nowhere. Like out of nowhere, he found himself one set apiece. And you could tell that from that moment on, Jack Sock was never able to forget. Not even when he came back from 2-0 down, and not even when he had that rain delay, was he able to come back mentally to the match. So that concept of staying close, you don't have to think of the score. Just try to stay close in the score, because you never know when you're going to have an opportunity against any player. Three things really quick that happen when you stay close in the match is the opportunities come, or they are plainly given to you. The opportunities come as they came to Coric on that tie break. And sometimes he didn't even have to do anything. Jack Sock pretty much beat himself on those 3 points that he gave away on that second set tie break. Focus on result makes it more difficult to keep the pace in a long run. The focus on the result is very difficult to really stay in the fight, especially when you're playing someone that is a little bit imposing on you, is better than you, and you're thinking about the result. Oh my God, it's too big, it's too difficult to beat this guy. I'm fighting and I'm winning my serve, but anytime this guy's gonna break my serve, I know that anytime I'm gonna choke and I'm gonna miss that forehand. Anytime I'm gonna choke and I'm gonna miss it. Well, so you start thinking like that instead of saying, you know what, just focus point by point, win your game. Just win your game. If you cannot break the serve, okay, just work on your serve and win your games. And the last thing is, like, every second you're still in the fight means more chances to you. Every second your confidence grows when the time is moving and you find yourself toe to toe with this guy. You're tied there on the race, so your confidence grows because you feel better with yourself. You notice that, okay, you know what, I can actually do some damage with my ground strokes or with my serve or anything. You actually find out that you have what's necessary to put a fight, to still stay in the fight. The second thing is when that happens, therefore your confidence grows, therefore your performance improves. You're still feeling more confident, your performance is always going to improve. You always start feeling better, still you start feeling more settled, more relaxed, and you don't have the same mentality that you had when you started the match. And the most important of all these things, the confidence grows, your performance grows, gets better, you develop yourself, you develop into a better player. Even if you lose a match, think of those matches, a match that you have lost, but you still walk out of that match and say, wow, I didn't know I was capable of doing that. I didn't know I was capable of winning 8 games against this guy. I didn't know I was capable of breaking the serve twice to this guy. I mean, there's always good things that you can get out of performances like that. So don't, when we think on the results, sometimes it just looks too overwhelming. Stay close, stay as close as you can. Even if staying close means that you already got your serve broken one and you're down by 2 or 3 games, it doesn't matter. You just gotta take little by little, and that's how you're finding your way through. And sometimes that's when you get the opportunity, or the opportunity sometimes it's just given to you. like I say, sometimes you don't even have to do anything. Well, no, anything. You're fighting on it. Of course, you're already doing something, but for some whatever reason, they're given to you, or you find it and you take it. All right. Okay, guys. Just wanted to make sure that I will tell you this because it was very important. I couldn't include on the last video. Didn't want to make it long. I'm sorry if I made this really long. I hope it helps. Subscribe, like to my channel. Give me a like, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.